Good afternoon and welcome to the news at this time. I am Anuluwakpo Stevens. Vice President Kashim Shettima is leading Nigeria's delegation to the 56th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The summit, which brings together global, political, and business leaders, is scheduled to take place from January 19th to 23rd, 2026. His arrival in Switzerland follows a visit to Guinea, where he represented President Bola Tinubu at the inauguration of President Mamadi Doumbouya on Friday. A statement from his senior special assistant on media and communications noted that on his arrival in Switzerland, the vice president was received by Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Dr. Jumoke Oduole, and officials of Nigeria's mission in Switzerland. The World Economic Forum in Davos attracts thousands of participants, including heads of government, CEOs, civil society leaders, and journalists. This year's forum will focus on global economic challenges, technological innovation, and climate action. This year's meeting marks a milestone in Nigeria's participation with the establishment of a sovereign pavilion. Nigeria House Davos, located in Davos Promenade. The facility, built through a public-private partnership, will serve as a hub for ministerial engagement, investment roundtables, and cultural diplomacy. The Vice President is expected to commission the facility during his visit. Workers in the Federal Capital Territory Administration and the Federal Capital Development Authority have gone on strike following an earlier announcement on Friday to shut down government offices across the FCT and its area councils. The decision was taken by the Joint Union Action Congress, which directed workers in all cadres to withdraw their services due to the authorities' failure to address long-standing labor and welfare demands. The strike follows the expiration of a 7-day ultimatum issued to FCTA management on January 7, 2026. The unions claimed the ultimatum was met with silence despite several meetings. Unresolved issues including outstanding promotion arrears, stalled promotion, and the continued extension of service for retired directors and permanent secretaries. UAC also raised concerns over the conduct of the 2024 promotion exams, calling them a failure that impacted many candidates. The administration has also allegedly failed to remit workers' pension contributions and National Housing Fund deductions. Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development has denied claims by the Northern Leaders Forum that the government violated the federal character principle by citing a global gold refinery in Lagos. The ministry issued a statement on Sunday in Abuja, clarifying that the federal government neither owns nor established a gold refinery in Lagos or anywhere in the world. The refinery in question is a private initiative by Ken Smith, a wholly private mining company, which is aimed at developing Nigeria's local gold industry. The ministry explained that the government does not direct private companies on where to locate their businesses, as such decisions are based on individual companies' operational and commercial considerations. The statement also acknowledged the perseverance of Ken Smith, founder and managing director, Ms. Nere Emiko, and emphasized the refinery's role in Nigeria's policy to discourage the export of raw minerals and encourage local processing and manufacturing. Away from that now to Rivers State, where the office of the Rivers State Chief Judge, Justice Simon Amadi, has received a letter from the State House of Assembly requesting him to constitute a 7-man committee to probe the allegations of gross misconduct leveled against the state governor, Sir Siminalayi Fubara, and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odun. The House of Assembly Committee Chairman on Petitions, Information and Complaints, Dr. Enemi George, confirmed that the Chief Judge had acknowledged receipt of all the documents. Also received by the CJ office were other documents detailing the allegations of gross misconduct against the governor and the deputy governor, copies of the Rivers State Impeachment Panel Procedure 2025, and other relevant documents. George said the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Martins Emefiele, has already complied with the Constitution, and letters sent by him to the Chief Judge have been received and acknowledged. He commended and thanked the good people of Rivers State for their support and prayers for the 10th Assembly in particular, and Rivers people at large. While still staying in Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara has reaffirmed his role as the leader of the coastal state, pledging to uphold peace and security and not support any action that could threaten public safety. Special guest at the finals of the 2026 Port Harcourt Polo Tournament held in the state capital, he emphasized that protecting lives and property remains a top priority, and reaffirmed his commitment to fulfilling his promises to the people of Rivers State. The governor expressed satisfaction that the week-long tournament was conducted without any incident, describing the peaceful atmosphere as proof that Rivers State is safe for residents, visitors, and investors. However, Governor Fubara expressed disappointment over the recurring political crisis in the state, noting that they have coincided with the annual polo tournament over the past 3 years. Now, still on the news, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against state governors and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over the alleged failure to account for billions of naira spent as security votes since May 29, 2023. SERAP said the suit was prompted by persistent insecurity across several states and the FCT, despite huge public funds allocated yearly to security votes, including reports of mass killings in Benue State and other violent incidents nationwide. This was disclosed in a statement announcing the lawsuit and signed by SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare. In a suit filed last Friday at the Federal High Court in Abuja, SERAP is also, among others, asking the court to compel the governors and the FCT minister to publicly disclose details of how security votes collected since May 29, 2023 have been spent. The organization is also seeking an order directing them to provide detailed reports on the allocation, utilization, implementation status, and completion of projects funded with security votes, as well as any plans to improve security infrastructure in the state and the FCT. According to SERAP, over 400 billion naira is budgeted annually as security votes across the country, while at least 10 governors reportedly earmarked about 140 billion naira for the same purpose in the 2026 budget year. In the suit, SERAP argued that Nigerians have a right to know how public funds meant to protect lives and property are being utilized. It was stated that no date has been fixed for the hearing of the suit. Meanwhile, The Kano State Police Command has arrested 3 suspects over alleged brutal murder of a housewife and her 6 children in Dorayi Chinchi quarters on January 2026. A statement by Chief Superintendent of Police Abdullahi Haruna, the Public Relations Officer, Kano State Police Command, on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Ibrahim Adamu Bakori, listed the suspect as 23-year-old Umar Awuwalu of Sabwa Gandu Quarters, Kano, 8-year-old Isaku Yakubu, also known as Shebe of Sagagi Quarters, Kano, and 21-year-old Yakubu Abdulaziz, popularly called Wawo of Sambogida Saharada Quarters, Kano. The state added that the suspects were arrested by a crack team of detectives during a sting operation that lasted between 10 p.m. of 17th January 2026 and 4 a.m. of 18th January 2026. The leader of the syndicate, Umar Awuwalu, a nephew to the deceased housewife, confessed to the crime and also admitted that the same syndicate has carried out a series of gruesome killings and attacks in the recent past, including the killing and burning of 2 housewives at Tundu Yola Quarters, Kano. The Kano State Police Command recovered 4 types of clothes with blood stains, the deceased 2 mobile phones, a cutlass, a club, and some amount of money robbed at the scene, adding that investigation is in progress. The Kano State Police Command commended the effort of the police officers involved in the operation, members of the public for their prayers, support, encouragement, and cooperation, and assures the public of its commitment to bringing perpetrators of crimes to justice. In business news, China's economy grew by 5% in 2025, meeting the government official target despite facing challenges such as a prolonged property crisis and struggles to boost domestic spending. The country's trade surplus, a record high, helped drive growth, though the final quarter of the year saw slower growth at 4.5%. Analysts believe that while China's economy remains strong, it is becoming more dependent on exports, leaving it vulnerable to global trade tension. China also faced demographic challenges with a record low in birth rates and a continuing decline in population. Despite these challenges, experts believe China's economy can maintain a stable growth trajectory, though they warned that rising debts and resilience on exports could create obstacles. Accused of chasing clout with Wizkid's name after he repeatedly criticized the Starboy bus and his fans during recent live streams. In a video, Kuti highlighted his achievement, stating that he performed 82 shows globally in the past year, with sold-out concerts in Australia, Europe, America, and Brazil. Goal was enough to earn Senegal their second Africa Cup of Nations title after defeating Morocco 1-0 in the final on Sunday in Rabat. Crystal Palace forward Ismaila Sarr had bundled home from close range, but his effort was chalked up for a foul by Abdoulaye Seck on Achraf Hakimi. The game was marred by late controversy as Senegal head coach Pape tried to usher his team off the field when Morocco were awarded its spot kick in the 98th minute when defender El Ajid Magaki brought down Brahim Diaz. When the penalty was eventually taken in the 114th minute, Real Madrid forward Diaz saw his Panenka attempt saved by Edward Mendy. Villeurbanne midfielder Pepe scored the only goal in the 4th minute of extra time to seal a second triumph in 5 years for the Lions. Morocco pushed for an equalizer, hitting the crossbar and forcing late saves, but Senegal held on to secure victory in a final that saw extended delays, heated exchanges, and repeated VAR interventions. And that ends the news on Independent Television. Many thanks for watching. I am Anu Oluwapo Stevens.
ITV.